Carrie, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Minimize the whole screen for a minute.
Hey, can you call Nancy or call Sandy and tell Nancy I'm gonna have her go first?
Sure.
Able to get in?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carrie wants Nancy to go first.
Well, I'll tell her.
I don't have her. Yeah, that would be Mark, because this is, but City Hall has, yeah. So Mark will unmute her, but she just wanted you guys to know that. Bye.
I'm gonna shut my door so we don't have to.
Okay.
Oh, Eileen, I think you're muted. Eileen? Denise, can you let Eileen know she's muted? it's time.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
You have to unmute yourself.
I thought I was unmuted.
I can hear her.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Should be. Try it again.
Okay,
Yeah, no, she is now.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, so we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear her. Can you hear us, Eileen? Yeah, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, she's upset.
Yeah, well, we're trying.
We're trying.
No, you're set. It's done.
Oh, okay.
You can hear us.
I can't hear you now. I'm used to doing this on my iPad.
Ask someone to say something.
Just this. So you see.
Okay. Are we on?
We can hear you.
Okay, well, let's call the meeting to order at 4:02. This is the library board, and it's Thursday, October 22nd. We'll have roll call. Pat, you want to start?
Lovejoy,
Tricia.
Amy Walker,
Valerie Chulu.
Did we get Katie? And we get Patricia? Yes?
Did you hear me?
Isn't
There
Katie?
we go.
Yeah?
Pat Lovejoy.
At Lovejoy,
And I think I saw Katie, right?
Yep, Katie's there.
Do I see Sheila?
I don't see Sheila.
No, Sheila. Well, maybe she'll be along shortly.
Do you want to wait?
Is here, and I see Diane and Carrie.
I'm Eileen Scott. Do we have enough for a quorum?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, do we have any guests?
We do. Library Assistant 2, Nancy Mitchum, is here with us. She's going to be doing the demo. And in fact, I was going to ask if the board's okay. I was going to have her do the demo first. We're going to just have her go first on the agenda. She's got a escape room program a little later on today. So she's going to be getting ready for that.
Okay. And I see Diane. Does anybody have any objection to changing the agenda?
Nope.
Okay, Carrie, is that all right? Yes? Denise, yes?
Oh, I'm sure that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so do we?
Oh, Denise, did you want to mention that thing about the alternates you said earlier?
Oh, that's a good idea, Carrie. For actually a refresher for all of us, we have 5 regular board members and 2 alternates. And when one of our board members is absent, as of right now, Sheila is absent. So our alternate number 1, who is Tammy, can step in to vote and make motions and all of those things that a regular member does. But of course, we want the input for both alternates all of the time. We want your opinions and your feedback and your input on all the discussions. It's just you step in to vote when there's a regular member absent. So
Okay.
Tammy, I guess you're on for today. So, and at least until Sheila arrives, if Sheila's running a few minutes late or whatever.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing her.
Yeah, but I think, wasn't Nancy going to go first?
Okay.
No?
Well, actually,
You
you
want me-
can go forward with the minutes and everything first, Eileen, though. I just meant she'll do her part before I do my director's report, because after my director's report, I'm going to go on into the fine free and I'll be talking for a little while.
Okay, all right. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes? Denise posted them online.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any additions or corrections? Okay, seeing no additions or corrections, the minutes will be approved as printed. Carrie, do you want to do the director's report, or what do you want to do?
We can't.
Carrie, you're muted.
You know, there's nothing like doing one of these Zoom meetings to make you appreciate the teachers trying to teach over Zoom.
I know, right? Carrie, you're muted.
I'm sorry. We did so great on our first meeting, and now we're having all the hiccups at the
Well,
last
that's okay.
minute.
We'll just all take care of each other. It'll be fine.
The first one seemed to go seamlessly, and now we're having the hiccups in the second one. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was just introducing Nancy again. She's one of our library assistant twos. She works in our youth services department, and also she's working on her master's in library science. So we're excited about that. So I'd like to turn it over to Nancy, and she's going to be talking to you today about one of our new youth databases. We had mentioned at last month's meeting, and we said usually when we get a new database or a new service, we like to talk to the board about it and do a demo. And Nancy's going to do that for you today. So I'm going to turn it over to Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk to you about Tumble Books. It's a wonderful, wonderful database that I think children and families in our community are really going to enjoy. So let me share my screen and pull that up for you all. So just bear with me. I had it up here, and okay. Just gonna. Here we go. Can everybody see the library main webpage? Is that what you're seeing on your screens right now?
Yes. And you're in a little box to the right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I don't want to give anybody motion sickness, but I'm just wanting to show you from the top. There's two ways to get into it from our website. You can either go into the Youth Services tab up here at the top, or you can scroll down and click the link here. So I want to read more about Tumble Books. And it should be pulling us in here. Okay. All right, and then it says click here. And it's going to pull us right into everything we need to see from that point. Okay. So this is what it looks like, the database. And you can see at the top here, there's several tab options. We're looking at the home screen right now. The index takes you into alphabetical list of all the materials that are available on Tumble Books. You can also create a favorite list. So as families and children are viewing books, if they like them, they can click favorite and there's a list. They could just go to that next time instead of going through the other tabs. There's also a playlist, directions on how to use Tumble, contact, and a newsletter. I'm just kind of highlighting those, but again, I don't want to cause motion sickness by clicking into all of them. I really wanted to focus on the 9 tabs that are shown right here. This database is fantastic because it covers a large range of ages. So the storybooks are more geared towards the little ones. So if I click on that tab, it shows you the new books that are available. We're just going to go into Wash Your Hands really quick, just so you can kind of see what that looks like. And it gives you, this is what I meant by add to favorites. So if a family wants to click this, or the child that's online, they can view it very quickly from the top next time. But the first time they're using it, they just click on Read Online. And it actually so just a little demo there. They can hear exactly what's going on. There's read-alongs. That's where the books are highlighted. And it starts with early readers, chapter books, advanced readers. So like I said, it covers a wide range of ages, which is wonderful. The classics, of course. There's ebooks, graphic novels, which are very popular right now, especially for reluctant readers when they're not really comfortable with perhaps a chapter book. And that helps build their confidence, and the illustrations are incredible themselves. I just want to show you one really quick if you're not familiar with the graphic novels. Geronimo Stilton is always a good one. So what's really interesting about this is, like I said, for the younger ones, they highlight the words on the pages. For the older children, they show the actual book and they read along on their own. It's trying to pull up. All right. That one is having a
Do you
little
have a
bit of,
choice? Do you have a
You have-
choice
you
of
have-
whether it reads it to you out loud or not?
it depends. It depends on the age level. So the read-alongs, let me see if I can show you one of those, if that'll pull up for us. Let me do the early readers here. Okay. So as it's pulling up the book here, this one is a chapter book. So it has the chapter menu for them. They can bookmark the page. You can actually go in and change the text if you want the font to look differently or you want to change the size of it, which is a really nice feature. There's color options. You can change the background of the book. It's usually the color that you see here. You can add notes, which is really helpful. Especially a lot of children are reading for points at school. So this notes portion would be really helpful with comprehension. So when they're having to share the information about what they read later, that helps them remember that. So for whatever reason, it's not pulling up the book itself for you all to see right now. So I'm just gonna kind of click out of that right now and highlight a few other things. This is a lot of questions that we get in the library where if someone say they read Be in Your Ear, I love that book, or the family member will say they really enjoyed that book, or there are other books that you recommend. So this again is a nice feature that I wanted to highlight. You may also like, so that helps them choose maybe what they want to read next. Over here, it shows the reading level, which is, we get a lot of questions about that. The AR is what I hinted to before, where they have to take tests based on what they read at school, and the Lexile level, so they're reading at the appropriate level. So it's nice that that's at everyone's fingertips as well. There's nonfiction, there's videos, language learning, which is wonderful. This playlist, you can create your own playlist, or they highlight a playlist for you. So if you are, for example, it shows here under 10 minutes. So if you're just wanting to read stories together for under 10 minutes, they show choices for that. If you have longer time, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So this is a really nice feature as well. If there's a time issue. So that feature is available. And then I thought this was really nice too, this puzzles and games. And I played a memory game, and so it's a nice thing. They can kind of break it up. If they're reading a little bit, then they can come and play a game, which is very good for cognitive learning as well. So this one, like I said, is more of a memory game. Let me see if it will let me show you. So there's a lot here in Tumble Books. So this one, you're just supposed to try and find the letters that match, and when they match, it stays up, and then you keep going, and then there's a time limit, and it says congratulations, and you can play again, or you can do something else. So that was kind of fun too. So that's just a quick overview. I know you all have a lot to cover, so I don't want to take up too much time. I'm happy to answer any questions if there's something that I went over too quickly, or if there's something you'd like to know a little bit more about that I didn't cover. I'd be happy to answer those questions.
Looks like a really good addition. Anybody have any questions?
Can I ask a question, Katie?
Sure.
My question is on the advanced reading one, where you're able to take the notes on the sidebar, then what happens to those notes? Are they compiled at the end that the reader, I'm thinking of my grandson because he does the AR books,
Sure.
and are they compiled at the end so he could look at them all at one time, or do they just like disappear after he's read that page?
That is an excellent question. I believe it is just going to attach itself to that particular book that you're reading at the time.
So that when, let's say you're on page 5 or something and you take notes, when
Sure.
you go on to page 7 or 9 or something, do those notes disappear, or are they notes for the whole book all the way through? So then you'll see them even on the last page to remind you of what was on page 5.
I understand. I understand the question. Yes, they should remain available the whole time the book is being read.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice feature. I'm a note taker, so I appreciate it.
Me too.
Very-
And he's really competitive, so.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Nancy, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
Sure.
I have a picture of the city of Tarpon Springs with a sponge diver on my screen, so I wasn't able to see what you were
Oh.
showing. It was very interesting, though, just listening to you, and I'm just wondering if there was something that I should have pushed or clicked.
No, I don't know why. Was everyone else, did anyone else see the sponge diver and not the Tumble Book database?
No, I see the Tumble Book. I see the Tumble Book database. I
Okay.
followed with your
Fine,
click.
I just
Okay.
If you're not in full
if
screen,
there was
then you
something that
will
I
see
should
the
have.
diver.
Mark, is there something we can do so Pat can?
So Pat, on your, are you on an iPad or are you on a computer?
Mac.
Mac. Okay, so then, since we are in a screen share, if you hit the escape button, what happens?
Well, I did have it on full screen and I hit the escape button a little earlier, and it just makes the screen a little smaller.
Okay, and so what you're seeing right now is just the sponge diver?
Yes, the city government website. We
Um,
don't have to go through this now because I really enjoyed listening to you, Nancy. I
Well,
just.
thank you.
didn't know.
I don't think maybe she doesn't have her Zoom window open, Mark.
that's what I'm thinking. So on the bottom, if you click on Zoom,
Ah. Where would I find that? Maybe
if it's a Mac, so then you would go down to the bottom of the screen and you should have a little camera icon with the,
Oh, I see. I didn't know you were talking about the.
Yeah.
Okay.
so if you click on that, it should bring up,
Okay, let me see. Yep, here it is.
now can you see us all?
Somehow, I guess
Okay.
it was very easy, but I didn't realize that's what I should have done. Thank you.
I made the same mistake, Pat. Now that's how I know.
Oh, okay, you're kind. Thank you, Nancy, and
Oh,
thank you.
my pleasure. Thank you for letting us know that you couldn't see it, because we definitely want to make sure that everybody can. So thank you for letting us know. Are there any other questions about Tumble Books? Okay, well, again, thank you so much for the opportunity. The only other thing that I was hoping to share with you all quickly is that Holly, who works in the reference department, and I are very excited because we get to represent the library at the Trunk or Treat next Friday, October the 30th from 6 to 8. We're going to have a tent and handing out some candy, and it's going to be Ghostbuster themed. So for those of you that are Ghostbuster fans, we're going to be Ghostbusters. So again, thank you so much for letting me share with you today.
Thank you for
the
sharing.
library.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Did we approve them? We did approve the minutes. So is Carrie ready to do the director's report? Yeah. You're muted, Carrie.
You're muted, Carrie.
It's just a comedy of errors.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, let me backtrack. The big thing we have going on this week is on Monday, we started being a ballot drop-off for the supervisor elections, and that is going very well. The first day, I think everybody had been holding their ballots and just waiting for a drop-off location. I see some of you nodding, because we just got flooded on the first day. We had over 1,000 people come drop off their ballots. The supervisor elections are set up in our lobby. The poll workers are there. People can just put their ballots directly in the box. They just need to have them sealed and signed on the back. But since then, we've also had every day hundreds of people, but by far the biggest was the first day, because everyone was just waiting for that first drop off. So that's going very well. The other thing going on this week, it's Friends of the Library Week. So we're very happy to be highlighting and celebrating our Friends of the Library group. We have a post on our Facebook page and our Instagram, and did a tweet about it. But it's just libraries, well, Friends of Libraries across the nation are being celebrated this week. It's an ALA celebration of Friends of Libraries, and our Friends of Library group is outstanding. They do so much. We would not be the library we were without them. Some of the things I'd like to highlight that they support at our library is our musical instrument collection, the puzzles and games collection, all of our special collections, the seed library they support, and some of the new things they are going to be supporting going forward. We had mentioned before we're doing a scavenger hunt. We're going to do it in person and online. They're going to be supporting the prizes for that. At the end of the year, we have the Christmas parade, and the Friends of the Library support all the books in the Christmas parade. They do a tremendous job all summer long supporting our summer reading programs for children and teens and adults, and the prizes and different things that go along with that. And so I just wanted to highlight a lot of the things that the Friends do for us. Not to mention when we do have volunteers, which we don't currently have at the moment, we have a very dedicated group of Friends volunteers that operate the Friends Used Book Sale in the library. Because when we withdraw books from our collection, they go to the Friends of the Library, or when we get donations that we're not able to add to our collection, they go to the Friends. And the Friends go through those, and they go for sale in the Friends of the Library Used Bookstore in the library. And all that money that is the proceeds of that get returned to the library, and we can use them for special enhancements and other programs. A lot of things I just mentioned right now, because we get a wonderful annual donation from the Friends. And if you all had any questions about that, we haven't had a chance to have a Friends representative. They haven't been meeting recently due to COVID, but we look forward to when we'll be able to have the Friends board meetings again and a Friends annual meeting coming up. I just wanted to highlight them during this week. And the other thing I was just going to be talking about is we are continuing our programs. We are doing all the programs online. We're projected to do those for the rest of the calendar year. We're doing new ones each month for children and adults. Denise and Sandy did an excellent job last month of telling you a lot of the different details about our different programs. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. But please keep checking our Facebook and our social media, because we're constantly advertising the new things we have coming up. And we're also doing, continuing to do our craft kits to go. Those have been very popular. We're going to be having those going at least the rest of this year, and probably into next. Those are continuing on, and we're doing a lot of the holiday themed ones coming up. We're going to have a holiday ornament, and we're going to also have card kits where people can make their own cards for the holidays. And Youth Services does amazing ones. They change them out multiple times the month, usually more than once a week. They do all kinds of different ones that Sandy had shown you last time. We're doing a bunch for Thanksgiving, and then again for the holidays. So that's a lot of fun for adults and kids to stop by the library and just get one to go. And they can even be delivered to the curbside. So we encourage everybody to take advantage of those. And it's that time of year. We just ended our fiscal year as of September 30th. So I'm going to give you an overview of our annual statistics, and I'm going to see if I can share my screen. So basically, when we do the annual report for the library, we usually try and do like some sort of little theme with it. Last year, since we had just done the games and puzzles, we had the statistics in little different puzzle pieces. This year, what I thought of was Zoom, because we're doing our meetings through Zoom, and our a lot of programs through Zoom. So I'm going to share the screen. I kind of put it in a Zoom theme thing to see what you guys think, because this usually is what's presented to the Board of Commissioners at the end of the library board report. We do the statistics page. So let me pull mine up so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Give me just a second. because I'd like the board's report, opinion. Now, can you, you're not seeing it yet, are you?
I'm not seeing you.
Where'd I go? Um,
Is everybody else seeing Carrie? Am I the only one not seeing her?
I see
I
Carrie.
can
No,
carry,
she's
but
not
not your
sharing yet.
screen.
There you go. Yep.
Oh, there we
You
go.
can see it now?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now I just, okay. For a second, I couldn't see you. Okay, I'm trying to get back to the full screen. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, you guys can see the PowerPoint then? Okay.
Yes.
Oop. So first, your opinion, does it look anything like a Zoom screen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I was trying to go for. So
you're creative.
our numbers are quite a bit different than previous years because this has been an unprecedented year, as you know. Showing there our attendance is roughly about half of what it is. Maybe not quite a half because we weren't closed for that many months. But it definitely has always been over 100,000. This year, we're just under 90,000. This is as of September 30th. Our circulation didn't take that big a hit because we were able to, certainly with the digital items, continue that during the time we were closed. And the physical items, as soon as we opened, we had all these holds. So people did curbside pickup and got a whole bunch of holds. So those are the numbers for the circ, about 150,000 physical and a little over 30,000 digital. Again, the trend continues to be the physical declines each year and the digital has been increasing. Those are our breakdown of our collection, the print and the audio and the video. We are, just like I mentioned about the physical, slowly decreasing our print collection. The audio and videos are still very much popular, but as we add more electronic resources, so we have digital audios and digital videos, and certainly the ebooks, we'll probably continue to see the physical collection shrink and the digital collection grow. The library cards, while we were gone, a little ways into the pandemic when all the libraries were closed, we started a digital library card registration. So this does include some of the digital library card registrations. The computer and technology, that is the 19,000, that's computer users, people who come into the building and sit down and use our library computers. That's not just people using their own devices and our Wi-Fi, that's the ones who are using our physical computers. And the technology training sessions, most of those were done pre-closing for COVID, the 189 of those. And the reference transactions includes the phone transactions, email, and in person, of course. The interlibrary loan includes all the items that travel between the different libraries. The volunteer hours are obviously pre-closing to COVID because we haven't had volunteers come back since we reopened. And the programs are the digital and the in-person, and the craft kits to go that's what we started when we reopened. That's something we didn't do before, but we are going to continue. We used to have where people could stop in and just do the make and take crafts, but we didn't have them like pre-packaged for people to just kind of come and grab them and not do them here. But that's something we started after being closed and reopening to the public. So this is just a quick look at it, and just wanted to share that with the board. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you guys think this is a good format, and we'll see how you plan to present to the commission, but if you guys think the Zoom thing is appropriate for this year's annual report, then I'll stick with that. But I was just going to throw it out to the board and get your opinions.
I like it.
I like it too.
Very much.
I like it better than the paper because it's more colorful.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to figure out how to, because I can only see part of my screen and I need to unshare. Let's see.
I can stop your share if you need me to.
Thank you, that would be great. Oh, perfect. Okay, the other stuff I wanted to talk to you about was the countywide, you guys can still see me, right?
Yes.
I can't see you. Do I need to do something to be able to see you?
I can't see me
Do you
either.
have your Zoom on, Eileen, your Zoom?
I can see everybody else.
You can see me, Denise?
I can see you.
Okay,
I can see you. If you hit the participants and touch her picture, can you see her?
I don't see where it says participants.
At the top.
In the bottom,
Where it says Zoom webinar, do I? Well, never mind. I can see everybody else.
okay, well, I also wanted to talk to you. I always talk about our monthly meetings with the library directors. The big focus was, of course, the fine free, but we do also use our monthly meetings, which we've been doing over Zoom for quite a while now, to just touch base and see what the different libraries are doing. And I can tell you that the majority of libraries are looking at kind of doing a status quo for the rest of the year, maintaining just the virtual programs. There are just a couple libraries that have started to do in-person programs, like some of the larger ones, Largo, with a lot of social distancing, but we're probably planning to do what most of the other libraries are doing and just stick with what we've been doing so far. But that's pretty much what's been going on. Also, the majority of libraries are continuing to not accept donations and not have volunteers, at least to the end of this calendar year. So that's what we're anticipating doing as well. But we do see definitely in 2021 getting back to full services, but we'll have to obviously see what happens in the next few months and see what the government from federal, state, and county and city recommends. But the big talk of the discussion was the fine free. So I'll give you a little bit about what the library directors talked about, and then I wanted to see obviously what the board thinks. We did do the vote, but since we didn't have a whole lot of lead up before our last meeting, in case you had any remaining questions, new things come up that you wanted to talk about, I'd be happy to go over the whole fine free with you. What the library directors talked about at our last meeting was how would we, more like the nuts and bolts of how we would work it if this does pass. How would we work on putting blocks on patron records if they didn't return their overdues? Because there's a lot of logistics that goes into behind the scenes. Do you do by number of overdues, total number of overdues, or how many days late they are, and different things, determining just the different policies of what would work. It does look like the general consensus is that most libraries are in favor. There are a couple libraries, Eastlake and Palm Harbor, that have indicated they probably won't vote for it because they actually get their funds directly deposited into their account. Like our late overdue fines or late fees go to the general fund, so we don't see it. It does go to support the city, which in turn helps us as well. But Palm Harbor and Eastlake gets it directly into their budget. So if they get $10,000 in fines, then it goes directly in the budget, and they actually will allocate that $10,000 for different items in their budget. But those are the only ones who have said openly that they're probably going to go against it. But there are 14 libraries, and the majority of them have indicated they're probably going to be voting for it. Since it is a cooperative, it would be majority rule. And if anyone wanted to not go with the majority and try and do fines, they'd be on their own on how they would actually do that. As far as they'd have to manually collect the fine, figure out how to do that, which no one really seems to be in favor of doing that, because as I think it was Palm Harbor Eastlake said, then the other, the patrons would just want to go to other libraries where they could get a fine free if it was fine free. So did the board have any other questions? Have you read anything? Do you want to get some more clarification on anything regarding Fine Free?
Do we need to take another vote on it, or does anybody?
No, the vote stands, but it's just old business. So I just wanted to see if there were any remaining things, any questions or input. If we're good, then we're good.
Anybody?
I
Questions?
think it could increase the use of books in the library. So I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I believe one of the counties around us that went Fine Free, I don't know if it was Tampa or Pasco or Sarasota, did actually say that they had noticed an increase in usage after doing this.
Good.
Okay, well, that was just the recap and the little bit of old business. If nobody had anything else. I don't know, Eileen, if there was any other old business the board wanted to discuss?
Any other old business? I think, no, I don't think, not from me. Anybody else? Old business? No? Okay, new business, huh?
Okay, well, we did, Nancy already did the presentation, so we're all set on that. But I did want to talk about a couple other things that are coming up. As I mentioned, we're kind of going to be doing sort of status quo for the rest of the year, but we are working towards when we do go back to in-person programs. And our Friends Room, as I believe we mentioned last month, is right now used for quarantining items. And we'll have to see what, how far into 2021 we continue that. But we are looking at other locations in the library if we did want to still continue to quarantine items, but yet start to have some limited in-person programs. What would that look like and where we put materials? So we have staff working on the logistics of that behind the scenes. We're also looking at bringing out some more displays. We have some display stands currently stored in the Friends Room with a couple other furnishings. Denise, if you wanted to mention, you had a great idea for a display coming up for the holidays.
Oh, sure. I was just thinking, perhaps this year more than any other, we might be staying home for the holidays, all of us, or closer to home anyway. So we're putting together ideas for kind of a big, substantial display. With all things home for the holidays, with some cool holiday cookbooks and crafting books for the whole family, and any, of course, wonderful holiday movies and everything that we can think of to provide a nice nesting holiday season at home. And so if you guys can think of things too, just all things that kind of focus on home for the holidays. So that was just our idea, but we would, like I said, welcome input and ideas.
Do a bulletin board on things you're grateful for.
There, that's wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Grateful that 2020 is going to end.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
And that the election will be over and we won't have to have all those ads every time we turn the TV on.
Watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Denise, did you say cookbooks?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Yeah, cooking and crafting and
more
cultural heritage. You know me, I always have to throw a genealogy spin into it. So cultural heritage, everything we can think of.
I've been doing more cooking than I have in years.
Yeah.
Being on the home front more.
Yeah, my brother and I were talking about that on the phone the other night, that we're eating out less and cooking in more, and realizing that can be a good thing in a lot of ways,
Think of how much money you're saving.
That's true.
I spend just as much on groceries.
Do you?
Well, it seems like we are too. of course, with Ron, he gets invited to so many receptions and dinners and appetizers and what else. And so we thought, no, we're spending more money because we're eating more at home now.
I spend a lot on wine.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Carrie, you want to talk about the next meeting?
Yeah. Oh, well, I just wanted to let the board, if you had any ideas for displays or any programs, we always welcome the board input on all of our
Absolutely.
programs and services. So please continue to share your feedback. We'd love to hear from you.
Mhm.
A couple other things that we have that we're working towards. The city is in the, we're fully got the digital community engagement tool. We're going to be going through training in the coming weeks to really learn how to use this platform. You can do surveys, you can do like online town halls and focus groups. So we're going to see how we can best use that at the library, because going forward to the future, we are looking towards renovating the existing facility and also looking at possible expansion. So that will be an opportunity for us to get a lot of community input on that. And then also just on our programs and services, especially in this new environment. Who knows how much longer we're going to be kind of adapting to the new normal. So we want to get a lot of public input. So we hope after the first of the year to really get involved in that. And we can't wait to work with the board going forward on that, get your input on the surveys. And when we get more into the community engagement, working forward with you on that. So that was some of the highlights I wanted to share that we're working on in the next couple months. Really just preparing for 2021 and going back to in-person programming and all of that.
Okay. Any comments, questions on any of that? Okay, you want to talk about the next meeting, Carrie?
Oh, yeah. Well, with that in mind, we need to see when the board wants to have their next meeting. If we kept with the fourth Thursday, which is best for the Zoom format, for November, that's going to be Thanksgiving, and December, that's going to be Christmas. And also there is the governor order expiring. I don't know if it's October 31st or November 1st regarding public meetings taking place through Zoom or digital means versus in person. So we wanted to see if the board wanted to continue meeting through November and December and figure out a way to make that work, or if the board wanted to go ahead and postpone November, or I guess not meet in November and December, and then instead have the next meeting in January. And we could see at that point if we're ready to do the in-person programming in January, or if it needed to be a Zoom thing, we'd have to figure out what would be involved with that. But as I mentioned, we're going to be kind of working on the next couple of months about preparing for the in-person programs and meetings of all kinds in 2021, and working on our planning. The only thing that would happen between now and January that I would want to get the board's input on is the Christmas parade. We're not sure if that's going to happen exactly as it has in the past. It's undecided at this point. And certainly if it did happen, it would probably look a little bit different, but the board usually does participate in the library's float. So if the parade does happen and the library does have a float, we could send out the invitation to the board or letting you know where we would be meeting and the time, but we'd have to see it'll be decided in the coming weeks about like, would there be fewer people involved or how would that work? And then we've always in our float traditionally had people walking alongside the float and handing out books to the public. So we'll have to see, you know, what's going on in the next few weeks, if that will be a good idea or if that's something that we wouldn't do this year with the COVID going on. Our backup plan is whether there is a parade, I mean, whether there's not a parade or whether there's a parade, but it's modified. We would be able to still give out the books to the children. The books, as I mentioned before, are sponsored by the Friends of the Library. So we could just have it where the children stopped by the library and came to the youth service department and were able to pick out their own book sometime in December, like a couple weeks in December, rather than passing them out in the December parade. So we do have that plan in place that we'd be able to do that regardless of what ends up happening with the parade. So that would be the only thing really that we traditionally talk about this time of year with the board.
So do you need a motion, Carrie, to?
Well, yeah, I guess you can discuss amongst yourself whether you feel comfortable not meeting in November, December and having your next meeting in January, or if you have any comments or opinions.
What do you think? Patricia, you got any comments?
Which one?
Well, both of you, either of you.
That'd be a good idea of not meeting, you know, because everything's going to get crazy around the holidays anyway, so.
Patricia Haddad, you?
I was feeling somewhat the same, but I didn't know if there were things that we were going to need to discuss. If that's,
Any,
then we could.
Katie, do you have a?
I'm kind of new to it, but just listening. I love having the meetings because I always learn things at the meetings because it's all new to me. But based on what Carrie just said, it would be great, I think, if we met in either November or December, not on the dates, obviously, because it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. But otherwise, if January, we won't really have an update and we won't know what will have happened in December or what we should be doing in December in terms of handing out the books, or do you all just decide that anyway? In other words, handing them out at the parade, that'll just be a fait accompli, and then we go back in January and we know that that's what happened. So I guess I just think it'd be nice to know in November that that's what we're deciding to do.
They could send memos to us if
Oh, well, no, absolutely. I will definitely, Denise and I will definitely make sure that the word gets out to the board. We will let you know as soon as the official decision about the parade is made. And as soon as what we figure out what the library's part in it will be, we will let you know immediately. If the parade is canceled, we'll let you know. If the parade is going on, we'll let you know. If we're having a float but not giving out, but whatever happens, we're going to communicate that to you because we would love to have you involved in some way if that's how it works out to be.
Oh, okay.
We want to let you know that regardless, we have a plan to be able to distribute books to the children, whatever happens. And we will be, as soon as the word gets finalized and goes out, we will be pushing those emails out to the board so you're kept in the loop.
And if you do decide to do the parade, when will we know that by? And do you need volunteers to walk around and help hand out the books during the parade?
Well, usually the way it works in most years is we get the parade application, I want to say maybe like 3 weeks or something before. Denise, does that sound about right or something? Like sometime in like mid to late November or something, probably late November, because it's traditionally been the second Saturday in December. So usually towards the end of November, you have to get actually maybe even they give you, I think maybe till the first few days of December to get your application in that you're going to be part of the parade. And then what we've done is it hasn't really changed year after year for the board. We just pick a meeting place and we all get together and we decorate the float. Woody's has been fantastic. They've donated a flatbed truck for the parade for many, many years now. And so they will show up and then we decorate the truck with all of our decorations and put the books there. And then we have arranged ahead of time with volunteers so that they meet us there and we all distribute the books. And so if this ends up being a year like every other, that's the way we'll do it. If it ended up where we weren't doing the books, but we were doing the float, we would let you know about, you know, when we'd be getting together and doing the float. And if we have any restrictions on how many people could participate with that, we'd share that, because this is uncharted waters, you know, what we're in right now. So whatever happens, we will pass that on to the board.
Okay, Katie, anything else? No? Tammy?
Nope, I'm fine with meeting.
Okay, did I miss anybody?
You missed me, but I think I'm in agreement with everybody else. And didn't we skip it last November and December too?
Well, we traditionally take a hiatus during the summer, but this year that was kind of done for us with COVID. So.
I think because we traditionally meet on the second Thursday, it hasn't really impacted the holiday schedule too much. We're early enough in each month of November and December. We're early enough, so normally we continue on. But now with our Zoom schedule, it's just more difficult this year. Everything's just a little more complicated this year. Right?
I'm in.
Well, I'm in whatever everybody decides.
Okay, so do we need a motion to not meet in November and December, or how would you like to do this?
Yeah, you would
That's
need a
probably a
motion.
good idea.
But there was one last thing I did forget to mention. We are willing to work with one of the board members on the library board annual report. We traditionally supply all the pictures for that and, you know, the statistics and the data that you would need. Last year, Patricia Lovejoy, you were kind enough to take on that, working on the PowerPoint for the board and everything. So I wanted to see if perhaps Patricia, if you would do it again, or if someone else was going to do it, because that's something we could do during the November, December hiatus if the board chooses to go that way, that we could be working on the board report behind the scenes. So sometime in early 2021, when the board would be able to present to the commission, we'd be able to, you know, get a head start on that. And, you know, at our meeting in January, we could, you know, maybe have a draft ready or something for some board input at that point.
I'm willing to volunteer unless somebody else wants to do it. No problem.
Anybody else want to do it? I guess you're elected, Patricia. If you're willing. Are you willing?
Whoops, did you get, uh-oh.
Did I lose you, Patricia? Are you willing to do it? To help with it?
Which Patricia?
You, Patricia.
Oh, yes, I thought I said
Sorry.
I'm willing to do it. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right. So do we need a motion to not meet in November and December unless there's an emergency, in which case Denise can call an emergency meeting? Okay. All right, somebody want to make that motion?
A motion not to have the meeting in November and December?
I second
Need a
it.
second? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. So, any other new business? Any public comments? Any staff comment?
Hi, this is Diane. I just wanted to ask everybody if they've seen the Storybook Time sculpture at the corner of Lemon and Alternate 19.
Oh, it's beautiful. I've seen it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. We finally got it up. We're very excited about it. So it commemorates the first library, and it's just down the street from our current library. So we're very proud of it.
I wish we had another one in front of the library now.
Well, we'll work on it.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, ladies, you need to try because it's gorgeous.
It is.
And the spot, Diane, is perfect.
Good. Glad everybody likes it. We're getting the plaque made and that should be done within about a week or so. And it's lit up at night. So we've had a lot of positive response from everybody in Tarpon Springs about it. So
It's beautiful.
reminds everybody to read to your kids.
Yep.
So if I won't see you all, I will wish you all a happy holiday.
Back at you. Okay, anybody else? Board comments? Patricia Haddad,
Nothing, thank you.
Patricia Lovejoy?
Nope.
I see a Valerie, but she's muted and all I get's a picture. Is there a Valerie there here?
A non-video participant, I believe.
Yes, I'm here. And no, I don't have any comments.
Okay, Katie? Nope. Tammy?
No comments.
Okay, so I didn't miss anybody?
Mark, we didn't have anyone from the public here, did we?
That's correct. There's no public in attendance at this time.
Okay, well, I guess that's it then. I'd like to add my comments to wish everybody a wonderful holiday and stay safe and wear your masks and wash your hands and vote.
Yes.
Okay, anybody else?
We do encourage you to still come by and see us in November, December, and enjoy our programs and services.
Oh, I do, often. Okay, meeting's adjourned at 5:01. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.